Iowa versus USC. USC currently is a 6.5-point favorite at the moment. Iowa is a hard team to gauge. If you're judging them based off statistics and on the paper, they're an easy team to fade because they don't play great offense. They struggle to get the 20 points against quality competition, and they mostly win off elite defense and special teams. But Iowa plays a old school brand of football. Iowa, their objective in every game that they play is to make it ugly. They want it to be a 17-20, 17-14 kind of game. And if USC is held to under 24 points in this game, Iowa should be able to cover. And they have a great shot at being able to win. Because USC's run defense has not been that good. Northwestern had a lot of success last week in the first half in that contest, running the football on that USC defense. Illinois, Notre Dame also had a lot of success running the football against USC, along with Nebraska. But USC's run defense is a lot better when they're playing at home than when they're playing on the road. And it's really strange. I don't know if it's USC falling victim to the body clock, like what they did against Illinois, or just the weird travel with them being on the West Coast and have to travel nearly all the way across the country to play in these Big Ten games. But they just are a way better team defensively at home than what they are on the road. And if USC can shut down Iowa's rushing attack, this game can get out of hand, and it can get out of hand pretty quickly. Jayden Maivia is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And it also helps that he's throwing to arguably the best receiving duo in the country, and Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane. And I'll argue that both of these guys are just as good as Jeremiah Smith and Cornell Tate. Iowa defensively, though, is really great. They have a top 5, top 10 defense in the country. They're 4th in yards per game allowed. They are 7th in yards per play. They have a stout defensive line that can get after the quarterback. They also can hold their own against the run as well. And everything that Iowa is great at, USC struggles with. And Iowa also is very good in these Big Ten games against some of the better teams in this conference. They are 5-1 against the spread in these Big Ten games. And they only lost by 5 against Indiana, and they barely lost to Oregon. They only lost that game by 2. So Iowa, although they play an ugly old school brand of football, a lot of their strengths are USC's weaknesses. And I still don't know if USC's run defense, even though they are playing at home, are going to be able to slow down Iowa. We know what Iowa wants to do. Mark Gronowski, he's not going to light the world on fire throwing the football, but he's a tough, gritty quarterback. He's going to find a way to get tough yards. He just fits Iowa so perfectly. I don't think there's a better quarterback that better fits the identity of their team than Mark Gronowski. And he's going to have a few big plays here and there that he'll get on the ground, that he'll get throwing the football. And I think that explosive plays probably are going to play a big factor in who comes away with the W. Because Iowa, they're not really trying to string together efficient drives. They're just trying to get a few big plays here and there that put them in scoring range and gives their defense a little bit of a break. But if USC gets out to a big lead early and Iowa has to come from behind to win it, then the game is all but over. Iowa's brand of football is really dangerous because you're basically banking on your defense being able to hold USC to under 24, and you're trying to win the field position battle. That's when special teams comes into play. Iowa, they won't be going for it a lot on 4th down. They have no problem putting that football, pinning you inside the 10, and trying to win that way. But with how well Jayden Maivia has played, along with these USC receivers being one of the best in college football, I just have to take USC to win. And I do expect Iowa to cover that plus 6.5 because Iowa is one of the best teams in the Big Ten at covering the spread, and they're going to be able to make this game close. I'll be shocked if USC blows Iowa away only because Iowa's defense is outstanding on all three levels. Elite defensive line play, great linebackers, great secondary, and we've seen USC against Nebraska, against Illinois. They've had their fair share of struggles of being able to put up points against good defenses. And this is the best defense that USC has seen up to this point this season. Yes, this defense is better than Notre Dame's. It's going to be better than Oregon's. This is an outstanding defense. But with USC having the quarterback advantage and having a more trustworthy offense, I got them winning 23-20. They win outright. Iowa covers. The quarterback advantage is just too big for me to ignore. And although I don't know if King Miller will have a great day on the ground for USC, I don't really think it really comes down to USC being able to play complementary football. They got the better quarterback. And when you're in these big games, quarterback play normally makes the difference. And that's been the theme all this season that I haven't really heard a lot of the big guys in the media talk about. When you have teams in these one possession contests, not just is coaching the difference, but which quarterback can make the big throws and clutch moments? Who can come away with the big play? And I think Jayden Maivia shows up and plays his best football late against Iowa, and that's why USC ends up getting the win in my book. I also wouldn't be shocked if Iowa won this game. So I'm not going to play this game as far as money line goes. I'm going to stay away from it. But I definitely feel like Iowa, the cover plus 6.5 is one of the best plays that you can make all this week because USC can't stop the run. So Iowa's going to be able to put up some points on offense. If USC's run defense shows up, though, which I doubt that it will because it hasn't really shown up all this year unless you want to use that Michigan game, which I guess we can say that Michigan game was an outlier. Iowa will get some points, but at the end, I just think that USC has too much on offense, and that's why they end up winning this game by 3.